What's the question?
Any type of photos that you won't take.
I will not take bad photos. No, I will not.
The steering wheel.
Yeah.
The things we do. So I can not look like...
Where's my door?
Oh, come on with this.
This is going to be a recurring theme.
Oh my!
It's like the door is becoming a character in the show.
Oh.
I'm actually going to put the window up a little bit more.
Are you chilly?
Because no, I'm not. But it was a little loud.
Oh, okay.
So I want to cut down on some of the noise, but I will not close it because it'll be getting too warm. Summer is nearly here, so summer's going to be interesting. But we're not there yet.
Yeah, let's embrace this temperature that we have tail end of April.
Yep.
Because it's already, like, this has been the driest year I think we've had for...
This year.
My jokes, too. Oh, snap.
Driest year this year.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
today, so we're celebrating whatever today is because it only comes once a year.
Yeah.
So this is Photographers in Cars. Welcome, everybody.
Hello, Spencer.
Pablo. I'm Scott Davenport.
Got it.
And so this is going to be our Potpourri.
The Febreze.
Febreze.
No, I'm just calling it. No, the Potpourri actually makes more sense.
The sweetest smelling podcast on the air.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of small little topics, so we're going to kind of, pop these out a little bit rapid fire and chat about them.
We do get questions on occasion, or we just come upon things in our socials where people ask us a question, and a lot of times those questions become topics for what we talk about here. Some of them would be great topics, but it can't carry an episode. So we've decided to compile those and kind of go and breeze.
So we got a few here. So I guess before even we get in, you got something that's on your mind photographically? Let us know about it.
Send us a message.
You don't have to wait around until we actually film to get an answer either. Usually, one of us will reply, whether it's a comment in the video or, I'm popping into the YouTube area at least once a day.
You're popping.
Popping, yeah, pop and lock. That was my nickname in the 90s.
Stop.
It rhymes. What's wrong? Why?
Well, because I have a visual of you. I'm so used to imagining. I'm just like, this is how Scott Davenport is, and now I'm imagining you breakdancing.
Oh yeah, it was really big.
Oh man, I know with your baggy clothes.
Very much so. Yeah,
your little boombox going on.
That was totally me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway,
I can't.
How about that first item?
Anyway. So this question comes from Greg. No, I'm making this up.
You're making up names? Okay. So is Greg,
from
too.
Sacramento.
Really? Okay, so you got a question. What's the question?
Any type of photos that you won't take.
I will not take bad photos. No, I will not. I will not take photos of homeless people. That's just not something I'll do.
Hey, that's exactly the same answer I was going to do.
And honestly,
I feel like I'm cheating you guys.
We didn't talk about it ahead of time. That's just something I won't do. I mean, street in general, as we know, is not
watch that episode
where
on his channel.
I am comfortable.
Yeah.
But to take a photo of a homeless person, even if I've heard of projects where hey, can I take your photo? I'll give you $5. I don't think I'd be taking it for anyone other than me, and that's to me. I'm just not going to do that. Yeah, so that's the thing I won't do. So
I feel like I cheat you by having the same answer. So I want to kind of continue on that. I'm the judge for a lot of photo contests and stuff like that, and so a lot of the photos a lot of the entries I see are of homeless people, and I'm like, you know what? You got to look and see who the judges are for this particular thing. Because if you submit a homeless person, I'm likely not going to pick it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
Yep. There you go.
2.
Question number 2.
What type of photos are your most popular on social?
So that's interesting. So I have a smaller breadth of work than you do. I'm doing landscapes.
You're focused.
Landscapes.
You're focused.
However, with the occasional, hey, this is a great seascape and so forth, what surprises me is the photos of gear. I've taken a couple of photos of and it's usually the stories. It's like the stories, it's like when I'm out doing something. All right, here's a little, shot of the camera behind the camera thing. And that, it's surprising and saddening at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay. So I just took a picture of this inanimate thing. But I get it because
Okay.
I'm a photographer and I see a picture of a camera and I want to go pick it up
Mhm.
and play with it and do things and so forth. And you're probably about to tell me the same thing. you're a dick.
You know, so the M. Night Shyamalan twist of this thing is we're probably the same person because that's exactly my answer.
Well,
too.
wouldn't that be cool if we ever ended the
What?
podcast like one of us wasn't in the car the whole time?
Oh man. So yeah, that's exactly my answer. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys my top photos of 2017 on Instagram,
okay.
and you will see that. So in 2017, I have photographed some beautiful landscapes, some beautiful people, some awesome events, and yet the top images are always of my camera on a tripod with some lens attached.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
You know, I'll throw in one other thing too, is that what does also surprise me is what landscape photos are more popular. And it's usually not one that I think is particularly good.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm trying to think of a good example, and I'm not coming up with a good one. But yeah, you know, it's like, okay, this was an all right shot, and you know, it's what I have this week. I'm going to share it, and that turns out to be, you know, really, really received well. Now, I should probably also put bounds on this too. Is that, you know, well for me is 100 to 150 likes. I mean, that's, you know, that's a pretty good photo. You know, I don't have a big Instagram following.
Nor do I, but we're organic. Certified organic. We don't buy.
I'm not going to Russia to buy the likes at the little vending machine. Yeah.
So no, that's actually pretty good. And so it's about the same for me. And so interesting you say that. Usually it's about the same for my likes. And all of a sudden, I remember there's this one image that all of a sudden just started hitting like 2,000 or something like that. And I was like, what's this? And I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, the Sony with the 12 to 24. That people just love that freaking camera.
There you go.
But yeah, so I mean, I photograph a ton of different things. Yet, no matter what, it's always the pictures of the gear. Photographers are gearheads. I think for the most part, we're gearheads, except for you.
Well, I mean, it's not even a matter of it being the gearhead. Like I said, I see the picture of the camera. I want to go pick it up and go do something with it. Because, yes, I mean, I see, you know, there's a guy, it's called The Film Project. He does this stuff on Instagram. I think it's Derek's Story. And it's a picture of old film cameras. And I don't shoot film. I'm never going to shoot film. I love looking at the photos of the cameras. It's just cool. You know, I mean, I love it. I mean, I'm almost thinking like I want to go buy cheap film cameras just as wall decorations. You know,
and I know people who actually do.
Yeah, right?
Do
yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah.
I said do-do.
Do-do.
Yeah. Before we go on to the next, I actually did, I don't remember where I read it from, but I've read that on Instagram, the photos that tend to be bluer tend to get more likes.
Bluer?
That's interesting.
All right.
Number 3.
For this one, why don't you answer first?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. And then we shall truly see.
There you go. We'll find out.
Hey, what focal length would you pick if you had to be stuck at it? So this is interesting because I picked a particular... Oh, by the way, this is what focal length, stuck at it, what prime lens?
So prime, we're not talking about a lens. We're talking about, I'm throwing this number out. Well, I'll take an insane number. 1,042 millimeters or whatever it is, a precise number.
Yeah,
okay.
A precise number.
All right.
And if you want to zoom in, that's when you use your legs.
You walk.
Right.
Okay.
So I have an answer, and I know you have an answer, and we posed this to a group, and we got a pretty decent response.
So let me hear your answer. I'll give you mine, and you can tell me what the group said.
Sure.
So forget.
Mine is the 20. I picked the 28 millimeter.
28.
The 28 millimeter f2. Or some bright thing, but 28 millimeters is wide enough that I can do a lot of my astro stuff, and I can do some of that. I can do my street photography, but it's bright, so then that way I can isolate the subject from the background.
So I'm forgetting the nature of the question. Was it just the focal length, or was there also the aperture involved? Because you're mentioning 2.8.
Oh, yeah,
just 28 millimeter. Because I mean,
I'm
just curious. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's no wrong answer.
No.
You're in a safe space.
I think it was... Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think it was what was the focal length? And I guess I had to add that caveat. No, you know what? Anyway, 28 millimeter, some bright 28 millimeter is what I would pick. And also because it's also one of the best values in the Sony's lineup, because Sony can tend to have some pretty pricey lenses for the price of the 28 f2. I'd be good to go.
Yeah, you're modifying the question. You're adding in thought.
Yeah,
That's not
I know
fair.
that's my analytical.
I call foul.
Okay, 28 millimeters, my answer.
All right, I'm close. I'm 24. Because I like to have that bit of a little more wide.
Yeah.
But I would think, and, because a lot of my shots are in like 16 to 18 millimeter range. But if I had just one, like when I go out for a day,
10-24 is good.
When I go out for a day, I'll put a 24 to 70 on it. That's my walk around lens. So if I only had to pick one length, it would be 24 because I still need my wide goodness.
Yeah.
Which is my new rap name.
My wide goodness. My wide goodness.
My wide goodness. Yeah, album drops next week. So what did the group say? What was the collective group answer there?
So I will say our selections were lower.
Okay.
Our selections were lower, but I want to say the 28 was maybe top 4. Mm-hmm. The number 2 was the 50 millimeter. And I think it's because, was it the thrifty 50 or the nifty 50?
Well, if you're taking people, I guess the 50 is what is my closest to the human eye, what we see. Yeah. Right. So, okay. That makes sense.
So 50 was number 2. Number 1 was the 35 millimeter focal length. So we're 28. I'm kind of close there. It's a little less flattering than 35 and definitely a lot less flattering than the 50 for portraits. Mm-hmm. But yeah, 35 would be a really good like prime lens to just have. And I agree. I agree that is going to be probably my number 2 pick.
I think what it starts to suggest is what is the type of photography you gravitate towards.
Oh yeah.
So
because I think one of the entries on there, someone was like, "Oh, definitely the 135 millimeter," and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, "Okay, yes, I do like that focal length for a particular niche of photo." Sure, but hey. That's it. Okay, well,
all right, cool. Else? We got any others? I can't remember.
Last one.
Last question. Lightning round.
When do you crop?
When do I crop? So, I actually got asked this, and the question was like phrased in at the beginning of your processing workflow, at the end. When does it happen? And it turns out I don't have a real hard and fast rule. Okay. I will tend to do. Come on. I was going to. Never mind. I'll bring it up later because that gets even worse. When I'm straightening a horizon, I'm tending to to pull in on the edges a little bit, and if there's something obvious that I'll just the border patrol, walk around the edge of the border and say, okay, I don't like this particular thing that's at the edge. I'll crop in. Sure. After that, as I'm working the photo, if I've had photos where I realize, I've got this whole frame, but the story's here. And then I'll just crop in when it just feels right. When it's just, it's time to do it. But, I don't have a fixed rule. There's no,
I'm on the other side. I process my photo first and I get things right. But all the while I'm processing it, I'm visually fixated on a particular part of the frame. And then when I'm done processing, I'll actually crop to that part of the frame. So, like, for instance, let me explain. If there's dirt all over my sensor and there's like a heavy amount of dirt on one part, but I know I'm visually focused on this part here, I'm not gonna...
Don't care.
But I'm gonna process it all the same minus the cleaning of the dots on this side of the frame. Yeah. And then when I'm all done, I will boop right over there. Boop. Yeah. So, hard and fast. Hard and fast for you. Hard and fast, just like this episode.
It was quick. Oh, look at that. Hey.
Maybe.
You were right then.
That took all of my mental capacity.
We're working on it.
Yeah, man.
We're working on it.
So,
well, cool. Well, that was good. Yeah. So again, you guys and gals got questions, please let us know. Comments in the video below. Message through our website. We actually have a contact form, and it actually contacts us.
It does.
It's amazing how that works.
It does.
But I love questions.
So I think what I want to do, have more of those episodes, and I think because of those popular photos that we're getting on our Instagram channels that they're being so popular, it's the hardware. I think I want to start talking about a little bit more hardware in the coming months. Anyway, it's getting
stuffy. I'll bring my bandsaw.
I'll bring my screwdriver.
See ya.
Bye. Oh, see ya.